a bit of a dog with this one. Hello, Upwell and Onwards here. Now, this is my first actual filming video of 2025, given that I've already had 2 released already this year. Those were pre-recorded back in 2024. You've got to enjoy the holidays, come on. And, you know, since 2024, had a haircut, had a shave, no comments from you. A mate of mine's here at the Model Club, so. Because me and him are working on the narrow gauge, over there. But we can't be arsed at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, you're playing on your phone, mate, so. So I figured, out of a spot of boredom, get to work on a couple of model kits I did mention I would do in a short. I put up last night, actually. But the time of recording and time of, you know, putting it on YouTube can differ. So, what we have here is a great, Glen Valley Tramway brake van by Brooks3d prints. Now, I already got 2 of these. They're great kits. And I love Nigel Brooks's work, but there's one thing that frickin' gets my goat every time. He pre-fits the frickin' wheels. Which means I have to take the wheels off, try my best not to break the axle boxes, like I did on my slate wagons, and then, you know, then building the kit. This should be a laugh. Oh, and spoiler alert as well, after the brake van, what's going to be next are these. Some chorus slate trestles. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So sit back, relax, and I'll hopefully be wearing my microphone throughout the rest of this video.
Okay, and right now I'm just simply opening up the bag to get at the print. And we have the body, the roof, 2 guards figures, 2 chimney pots, the couplings, and the wheel set is obviously already attached to the print, which I find quite annoying, but Brooks does his business as he does his business. Now also in the bag is also a cellophane sheet, or a clear plastic sheet, which shall be the windows. Now I'm just simply cleaning up the print, making sure it's all ready for paint, getting rid of all the support material from what was in the body, such as the guards, couplings and all that jazz. Now I'm just going over it with tweezers to break off the pips, as well as going over it real quickly with other tools such as maybe a file, a knife and such. But I'm mainly going to use snub-nosed tweezers to break off the support material. Quick and easy work. And right now I'm really trying to make sure that it's all clean so I don't have to see anything after I prime it. No unnecessary fettling or fixing or anything like that. And of course, right after I get the figures put in the blue tack, I'm gonna give it a primer coat, then I'll get ready for some painting. Here we go. Now, here comes the painting bit. Now, this took me about 3/4 of an hour, and the color I'm using is a Vallejo New Wood, I believe it is. Now, I really had to think twice on my colors, because I know once you go over it with one color, it's a bit of a demon to hide it sometimes. Not fun, but it has to be done. Now, I'm just simply painting around the plank work, making sure I don't accidentally fill in any of the grooves or the planking with too much paint. Just very thin, light coats. And I'm making sure I'm getting around good detail work, so nothing is missed out. I'm leaving out the support materials, i.e. the main struts of the build, so they can be done later. I honestly sometimes forget how tedious painting can be. I didn't realize how much time passed by until after I checked the footage. But getting the paintwork on the roof, the interior of the brake van, even though it won't be seen very well, it's cool, might as well get it done anyway. Devil's in the detail, after all. Which is why I'm taking my time off the roof, taking my time off the body. And occasionally you see me wipe the paintbrush on my wrist. That's making sure I get the excess water off it. Simple as that. And for those who watch my channel, you know I hate doing voiceover work. So the fact I'm doing this for one of my own videos means I'm putting a lot of effort into this video. Complete pain in the butt, don't get me wrong, but it's worth it in the end. Now I'm getting the roof color done. And it is a nice grayish black. It is really well done. It is actually a really good color. It's one of my favorite dark colors actually. It's quite good, it spreads very well. And it looks like a weathered black paint, so I love it. Now, painting around the chassis, that is the very hard part. Making sure it is not overdone. I'm using different blacks here, like a German black brown, just plain black, black glaze, and as well as grey black as well. Because it doesn't mean much after you put a clear coat over it sometimes, but if you get the combo right, it is brilliant. And getting the roof done was easy as heck. Just got to make sure I don't see any brush marks. That's the only hard bit. But yeah, it's quite simple, quite easy, and it's a lovely kit to paint up. Now finally, we're getting around to some weathering. This was after I gave the print a clear coat. Now, I am taking the George Williamson approach and simply just coating it with a nice mucky black or something like that, and then just washing it off with a clean brush and water, using the paper towel as well. But yeah, quite simple, quite easy, and quite really efficient. Okay, now that the brake van's had some weathering work done and it's in clear now. Sorry, I forgot to film that bit. Whoops. Just dropped her. Not good. Nothing's broken. That's good. But yeah, basically, just gotta be able to put the guard in now. Easy enough. And speaking of the guard, I gotta choose which figure, because you get two in this kit. I don't know what uniform colour to go with either, but I'll think of something. Now, actually, believe it or not, I used 9 odd different colours for these two figures, 3 of which were just for the skin colour. Now, I'm using a nice medium green for one of the guard figures. I'm using a nice, I believe it's royal blue, a combination of royal blue as well as a Persian blue for the other guard figure. Now, both are having dark boots, dark caps, something like that. I didn't bother giving any of them hair, and of course I had to have myself a coffee while I painted them up. It wouldn't be right if I didn't have a cuppa. Now, doing figures is extremely fiddly and tedious work, but devil's in the detail when you're doing kits like this. And also, the figures come with the kit. It'd be a waste not to do them. Now, they're a right pain in the backside to do in some areas, because you got to make sure you have good overall coverage. But if you do it right, you take your time. This was actually sped up quite a lot. This actually took me about 3/4 of an hour at best. And it was a real pain in the butt, but worth it in the end. And thank you for watching it this far at least. Now I'm just going to let you listen to the music, and I'm going to shut up until the end bit. Okay, final assembly. Now, I got the model in a clear coat of matte, Humbrol matte varnish. It's a bit shiny still, but I think a little bit of work and she'll be alright. Now, one thing I like about Brooks kits is, and he actually recommends this on his website, is that you use graphite to lubricate the axle boxes. Just good old graphite. You can use a pencil to do it. I like that. That is very clever. I like that. Bit in the coupling pockets. Just so you slide in. Right. Now, let's grab one of the wheels and fit her in. Ooh, she's a bit snug. It actually helps if I put the axle box in the bling hole. There we go. There we go, and look at that. Spins nice and freely too. That's quite good. Put my hat elsewhere. In the axle box it goes, and click it in. There we go. Oh, nope, I missed. Damn it. And there. Alright, couplers. Now this one's important. It pretty much says which way I like to run my fan. So if I go with the more traditional at the balcony, with the balcony at the back, it's like, whoops, it's pretty much like this. There we go. Because I always like to have, no, that's actually a bit backwards. Whoops. I got it set so it's balcony at the front. Whoopsie. My bad on that one. So just switch couplings around. Now, I'm actually using the couplings that came with the kit. This one's a bit loose, so I might actually glue that sucker in. This one now. Whoops. It's easy to break these couplings, don't get me wrong.
I've done it to my green one. And I was able to fix it using a Pico coupling pocket. Just had to file down the resin a bit. Okay, now for the fun bit. One of the figures I painted earlier is going to be fitted in the van. I think this green beggar should do nicely. I'm holding him by his head, but yeah, looks alright. The green in his red shirt will stand out grand. So just grab him by the head, chest or whatever, and try and position him into place to make sure it looks good. Once I'm happy with the final position, then I'll glue his feet in. There we go. Can't really hold it up so the camera gets a better view, but I'm quite happy with that position there. Okay. Now I know where he's standing. I can put a bit of glue on the bottom of his feet. And then he'll be in there for a good long while. Now the type of adhesive I'm using actually is another Humbrol product, Clearfix, which is really used for like glazing or something like that. It's actually what I use to fit the windows in on this. So I just want a small amount, put it on the bugger's feet. There we go. That should be more than enough to hold him in place. And also, if I want to remove him, I won't really break his feet off. Alright. And because that coupling's a little loose. Normally I would never do this, but it's cold. If you only put the tiniest droplet on, it makes it possible to remove it. There. Right. And actually me wanting to move him out of that spot's completely ridiculous, because once the roof's on, that's it. That's it. So here's the roof. And funny thing is though, and I like how he's designed this, how Brooks designed this, you can't, oh you can put the roof on, it's way around, I'll be damned. But it's called, there's little channel grooves in the body here that match up with the trusses on the inside. So it means it's a nice, clean fit. So just like that. It's a nice, clean fit. Now, let's pop that off at the mo. And a bit more clear fix. There we are. Just run that along the edge. There. And there. Just where it bows out. Okay. Put the roof on. Press it down a little. And there you go. One completed Glenvale Tramway guards van with, appropriately, a guard who would not look out of place on the GVT wearing green. Well, now I give my thoughts on this. I do love the kits because this is my third one, and I'm happy I went with the fixed door one, because I have one that also has opening sliding doors, as well as the two on the wee balcony are on half barrel hinges and they always pop off. That I find really annoying. But yeah, it's a lovely kit. It is. And I mean, oops. I better be careful. Can't let it roll too far over. But I mean, that is incredibly smooth right there. I'll just clear this a bit. Alright, and if it rolls that smooth, I mean, if it rolls that smooth from little effort, I mean, that is a brilliant piece of rolling stock right there. That is brilliant. Really worth it. Really worth the money for it. I will put a link to Brooks3d's website in the description below. And so you can, you know, check out what other kits he makes. Go for one of these yourselves, or yeah, see what takes your fancy, really. So until then, this is Upwell and Onwards saying, take care, look after yourselves, and try to keep out of trouble. Speaking of trouble, my little menace. What do you think, eh?